Isuzu Truck UK Limited, providing award-winning customer care.
When the Backhouse family represented their first transport client, the diesel engine had yet to be invented. Today they provide the future of legal advice by fixed-fee 24/7 industry-specific representation. Maintenance and compliance is critical to your business. Connect with Backhouse Jones from as little as 33 pence per vehicle per day. Articulate advice from Backhouse Jones.
Hello and welcome to TruckWorld TV from here at Junction 38 T-Bay Services, and this is the UK's only TV show dedicated to commercial vehicles.
Yeah, on this week's show we've got a road test of the Iveco Stralis in sunny Turin. We're also looking at drivers' eating habits here at the services in T-Bay.
But to start us off this week, we're going to take a look at fine art. Now don't worry, we're not getting all Antiques Roadshow on you looking at Van Gogh and Renoir, but no, the fine art of the truck customiser.
That's right. Earlier this week we sent Rob out to Haywood near Manchester to talk to a haulier who takes truck art to the next level.
These days, seeing a customised truck out on the road is a real treat, but seeing a whole fleet of them is almost unheard of. This lovingly prepared fleet of Scanias, with their pink and cream livery and stunning artwork from Nordic and movie themes, is now widely recognised across the UK and Europe. And the man behind the fleet is lifelong truck fan Joe Sharp. Tell you what, Joe, I feel for some of those scantily clad ladies on those trucks. It's not very warm today.
It's not the best weather to be wearing bikinis, is it?
No, in tropical Haywood, but amazing range of vehicles. How did you get started?
Oh, we started, it's coming up for 20 years ago now, and with just one truck, just me and my wife Jackie, and yeah, just went from there really, just on our own, and just built the fleet up as we went along.
And when you started, did you start with a sort of customised truck? Or?
Couldn't afford it, you're joking. No, it was put together with chewing gum, silicone, bits and pieces like that really, but yeah, it got us going, it stood us well. So
when was it you decided, let's paint a truck?
To be honest, I mean, we just worked really, really hard to be able to afford our first truck before we could even start thinking about airbrushing or anything like that. But look by as I wasn't on the road and I was in the office, so I didn't even get to drive it. It's always the way. I mean, the attention to detail, and it's amazing. Where'd you come up with the concept? Is that you? Some of it's us and some of it's the painters. We have two airbrush artists that work really hard on them. We have a company down in Radstock that paints the trucks, and then the airbrushers come and put the artwork on there. And we sort of leave them to their own devices. We give some sort of input and ideas, but you know, mainly leave it to the airbrushers really.
Yeah.
So I like to try and keep it like a Nordic theme if we can on most of them. So
yeah, and I say not to keep going on about scantily clad women. I'm guessing that wasn't the wife's idea, was it?
No.
For those?
And to be honest, that was the first truck we had done, and we said no naked women or anything like that. And sure enough, when I picked the truck up, it was there with all bikinis and everything. But it looks good. But we've pulled away from that now.
Yeah, and obviously onto the movie themes. Are these just films that you particularly like? Or?
Yeah, like I said, try and keep it towards the Nordic theme, like, you know, Sweden and Norway and things like that. And if we can incorporate it with films as well, then brilliant. I mean, I know Pirates of the Caribbean is not quite Nordic, but that was a one-off, to be honest. Yeah. But that was mainly for the kids, really. But
yeah, and again, the detail goes to the inside of the cab, which only the drivers are going to see. So
yeah, but to be a driver here, like I said before, you've really got to live the job. It's not just a job. So if we can make the trucks as high spec and, you know, as nice inside as outside, it's somewhere nice for them to live, and that's the way it is.
I've been driving for nearly 15 years now, and then I came to the point where I wanted to drive a nice truck and not be run-of-the-mill and do something a little bit different. And then Joe came along, offered me a position, and this is where I find myself now. I like driving something different and unusual, especially with the pink. We get a lot of comments on the pink because you're not just a truck driver, you're seen as something a little bit special, a little bit different when you're on the road. People ask you about your job, you question you about every aspect of what you do rather than just being another truck driver. Well, the slippers are there purely just to keep the inside of the cab clean. I like a clean truck. It's my house at the end of the day. You wouldn't wear dirty boots on a cream carpet, so you don't wear dirty boots in my truck. Yeah, you get looks and different comments, so it's not yours, why do you bother? But a bit of pride never hurt anybody, I don't think.
I've been driving for 20 years. Just basically love the job. And the simple fact, when I got the opportunity to come to Joe Sharp's, it was an opportunity I couldn't turn down. The truck is basically very similar to the others. It's just the customisation work has been taken a little bit further on this one. We have the steering wheel, which has been designed, or it was done in Holland. The customisation is the paintwork, the alloy wheels. It's just something from the norm. Just love it to bits. It gives you more pride in your job. It makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck when you see it, when you walk back towards the truck. It just gives you a sense of achievement and something to be proud of. Plus, it gives it a nice image towards the public. Truck drivers in general sometimes get a bad rapport with the public. This way, they're more friendly, they're a bit more approachable. The trucks are more approachable, obviously, because of the paintwork and the paint schemes. And people then seem to find that we're approachable, just normal people, just doing a job that we love and enjoy, and we just get on with it. It's a great job, love it.
Joe, I've got to know, how much does it cost to get one of these painted and customised?
To be honest, it can go on forever. I mean, certain trucks like Pirates, we literally start at a base figure and just keep adding to and adding to and adding to. We always say if you work on 10k upwards, but it goes on and on and on. You wouldn't want to know the end figure, to be honest.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it can be. It can be.
But worth it, I guess, say, from the interest it generates. And...
Yeah. Like I said, we have the fleet trucks as well that are again airbrush, but not in as much detail, and that can, you know, really we always set on around about 10k to start with, and then, you know, depends how passionate I get about it. So.
And do your customers like it, or do some of them think, hang on, we're paying for that?
Yeah, we get the odd comment about it, but most of them have been with us since the day we started, or in between, and they know how passionate we are about the trucks. And like I say, when the truck turns up and it looks right, they know that the driver's going to be bang on, and it's just that, again, goes back to the professionalism as it should be. You know, if they're looking after their trucks, then they're looking after the goods on the trucks. So.
Right. What's next? I mean, this is the latest one. It's Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed, yeah. Next year's our 20th anniversary, so we're going to do something for that. We don't know what yet, but hopefully something good. But like I said, this is the new one at the minute. The driver loves it. Everybody seems to like it. We've gone more for the younger lads and
PlayStation
kids.
generation.
Yeah, PlayStation and Xbox.
Other games consoles are available.
But yeah, it's gone down really well, really well.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Thanks for chatting to us, and hopefully we can come back and maybe in the summer when it's a little bit warmer and
put some shots
see the next one. It's good
Welcome
to talk to you,
anytime.
Joe. Thank you, buddy. Well, that's it for part one, but join us after the break when we've got Tim's test of the new Iveco out in Cheshire, and we'll also be looking at drivers' eating habits.
See you soon.
When the Backhouse family represented their first transport client, the diesel engine had yet to be invented. Today, they provide the future of legal advice by fixed-fee 24/7 industry-specific representation. Maintenance and compliance is critical to your business. Connect with Backhouse Jones from as little as 33 pence per vehicle per day. Articulate advice from Backhouse Jones.
With over 30 years' experience in guiding and supporting customers with their compliance needs, you can trust in our advice.
Established for over 40 years, Sicily Commercials is an award-winning Mercedes-Benz dealership that can provide your business with a complete commercial vehicle service. With 24-hour servicing, in-house MOT lanes, dedicated account managers and a 24-hour parts helpline, Sicily are on hand to support you and your vehicles when you need them. Experience the award-winning Sicily Commercial service now by calling 0845 564 7764.
Isuzu Truck UK Limited, providing award-winning customer care.
The Volvo FH.
Gotta move out, gonna break free, gonna push the limit, wanna find out what you mean to me. Wild world, take me for a ride. Come on, wild world, take me for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wild world, take me for a ride. Wild world.
The Volvo FH. Take it for a ride.
Welcome back to TruckWorld TV, the UK's only TV show dedicated to commercial vehicles. Now, each week on the series we like to test one of the latest trucks to come to market, and this week it's the turn of the new Iveco Stralis. And not that I'm moaning, but interesting for Tim's features, he gets to fly around the world. He's off to Cheshire for this one, whereas this week, where did I go? Haywood, I think. I'm not complaining, but just making a point.
That sounds perfect to me. I'm not complaining, definitely not. Generally, boys like four things. The first one's pretty obvious. After that, it's usually trucks, diggers and tractors. Well, if that's the case, welcome to heaven.
This is the Fiat Industrial Village in Turin, which showcases products from CNH, Iveco and Fiat powertrains, which are all part of the Fiat group. But of all the cool vehicles here, there is one in particular we've come to see. The 2013 Truck of the Year, the Iveco Stralis.
Question for you, how do you make an Iveco Stralis 500 Euro 5 more fuel efficient and more future-proof? The answer is simple, you make it a Euro 6.
The Euro 6 Stralis is the next stage in the truck's continued development. The main talking point is that Iveco have managed to go to Euro 6 emissions without resorting to the traditional methods of exhaust gas recirculation, a feat that is unique in the industry.
Now, just before I get in, as you can see visually, the cab from the Euro 5 and the Euro 6 isn't much different, and it retains the good features like, for instance, the cab storage. First of all, we've got small storage over there, and also in here. Obviously, it makes sure the fact that any of the rope and wet gear that you've got doesn't actually come into the nice dry cab. As we get in, the interior is very striking. And as we turn it on, it's a bit like Blackpool Illuminations. First impression as soon as you sit down is, gosh, there's two LCD screens. I'm used to the one right in front of me, and then on the right-hand side, we've got another one which is actually also touch-sensitive as well. Very interesting in the fact that we've got the Iveco Connect, or the Iveco Connect system, if you like, which has got the services, and also it also looks at driving style as well. I like the idea. I love driving styles because you get scores out of 100 and you're always wanting to beat your score. Every manufacturer at the moment, because of Euro 6, are upgrading all the cabs, and certainly Iveco have got a nice blend from an upgrade from the old Euro 5 up to this, very nice indeed. Also, handbrake, very, very well positioned, and as all with automated gearboxes, I like the idea of this one, where most of them are on the steering column. Iveco have placed it on here, and you've just got literally drive, neutral and reverse. Look inside as well, we've got the second LCD cluster, and all of that is controlled by the steering column here, and we get things like the telephone system and the radio, all controlled from the steering wheel here. It's not a totally flat floor. There is a little bit of an engine hump. You're talking about probably 8 inches around that, so raised up. And then when you look inside, it's typical of a sleeper cab. You've got dual bunks in here, but the important thing also is lots of storage. If you've got 2 people and 2 drivers in here, you need twice as much storage as you would do on a day cab. So yeah, very, very nice indeed. More importantly, you can stand up. Okay, I'm not very tall. I don't know if Rob could stand up in that, but certainly I wouldn't have a problem.
The Stralis is available with a choice of 9, 11 or 13 litre Cursor engines with power ranges from 310 horsepower to 560.
First thing you notice is just on the Euro 6 is just how quiet it is in the cab. We're now at something like 1500 revs, and other than a little bit of sound on the turbo, which you can expect, the vehicle is unbelievably quiet. Really is nice and tender. Here we are on the test track. This is one of Iveco's many test tracks, actually in the middle of Turin. You might notice that the camber is going up and down ever so slightly. Not. It's really, really bad. Some of the cambers are quite aggressive as well. Just like a typical test centre, if you've seen the test tracks that they have with the cambers up at sort of 40, 50 degrees, we're doing the same. It's not so bad in a car, but when you're in a 44-ton truck, you really do feel it. And don't forget, this cab is sitting on air suspension as well. So quite often when I'm driving these vehicles, I try and lock out some of the air suspension system. You have air suspension on the cab, you have air suspension on your seat as well. So, and actually the vehicle has air suspension as well. So sometimes, depending on what vehicles I'm driving, I might lock out the driver's seat here. It's an Isringhausen, it's air suspended, beautiful, but sometimes you find that you end up as if you're floating on air, and you miss the feedback from the vehicle. I'm loaded up at 44 tonnes, around about the 480, 500 horsepower, and now we're in 10th gear, and we're just literally just pulled it to 11th gear, and I'm just down at 1100 RPM, and I'm in the green zone. The green zone on this engine runs from 1000 to 1500 RPM, so at around about 1200, onto my up to about 75 kph. I've got to remember, I'm in Turin, it's kph, not miles per hour. Of course, nowadays, driving heavy trucks, not like it used to be in my day, and I sound like an old fogey, don't I? But when I started driving trucks, we were on spicy gearboxes, we were on crash boxes, and we've moved on from crash boxes to synchromesh boxes, and now what we're on is really a fly-by-wire system. You stick it in drive, or you stick it in reverse and neutral, not all at the same time, that is, but that's what you do, and it's just like, it is easier than driving a car, and I mean that. If you're driving a manual car, then, and you've mastered that, then you can drive a 44-ton truck. There's no doubt about that. By the side of me also, we've got heating and ventilation, air conditioning, obviously is standard on this vehicle as well. And this vehicle is also fitted with active cruise control as well. Again, it's distance to wear, and I can adjust the distance that I can stick from a vehicle. And again, part of the safety systems now that you find in commercial vehicles and heavy commercial vehicles, we are getting to the stage where trucks are becoming not just the same as cars, but I certainly believe more advanced than cars. To the right of me here is the driving style indicator. Now, my test driver, and he doesn't speak a lot of English, but he spoke enough English to be able to tell me he scored 97 and 93 on the driving style, which out of 100 isn't bad going. At the moment, I'm currently running, I shouldn't say this really, it's embarrassing, it's 78, so I'm a good 20% behind my friend on the right hand side. But the important thing is I know exactly where I stand, so I can improve on that, and apparently that's not difficult.
Okay, Enrico, thanks very much indeed.
Okay.
And I still think I'm a better driver than you.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Tim, we saw you getting to grips with the driver scoring system and having a bit of banter with the Italian guy they'd put you with, but overall, how did you rate it? Was it
light years ahead of what it used to be? I mean, the good thing about Iveco is they were well known for making good rigids, but not really and truly for good tractor units. In the last 10 years, they've come on leaps and bounds, and this latest generation of Stralis has really taken it to the next level.
Now onto a subject that's very close to my heart, and that's food. Now, as a car driver, traditionally a service station is not something you'd associate with getting a good meal and maybe a healthy meal. But believe it or not, truck stops are leading the way in changing the way we think of service stations, and many are providing good quality and really healthy options for truck drivers who spend most of their lives out on the road.
Before all your food traditionally start to panic, don't worry. There isn't yet a European ban on hearty food at our truck stops, so family favourites are still king of the range. But it's nice to see more healthy produce on show and plenty of fresh fruit. There's even the option to forego the traditional fry-up in favour of cereals for breakfast. But the big question is the food that's considered good for you really in demand by our hungry truckers?
Don't see many people with fruit. Our best seller is the chilli and curry. We've got steaks and gammons and stuff like that. Yeah, but they're mainly on late shift when they ask for that, when just truckers coming in. We like try and look after them.
Doesn't seem like truckers are fighting each other to get to the salad.
We still have a lot of big men here coming in. They tend to go for the unhealthy options that we have, but we tend to offer different things for different people, and basically anything they want, we'll do for them.
So, they will make what the drivers want, but are the drivers wanting the low-calorie options?
Carry fruit all the time. Fruit and fresh juice. Most of the time when I go somewhere, so it's okay that way. Oh, right, if I had this every day, I wouldn't fit in the truck. No, I'll do it.
Well, I use truck stops as often as I can. And whenever I'm up and down the road, truck stops are normally a lot more cheaper than what normal service stations are. The food seems to be a wee bit more healthier. And as a trucker, you obviously need to try and watch your weight as well. But I try and use them as much as I can. Some drivers, we've got 2 or 3 I know. I won't say any names, but there is 2 or 3 that I know that are kind of ballooned up, but not for me, no. I try and eat as healthy as I can.
Well, I've been driving for about 8 years now. Travel up and down the country, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, just depends. When I'm in services, it's normally all the fatty foods, sausages, things like that, full English breakfast, etc. Things like that. Can't say I would eat healthy. Nicest looking thing on the menu, 9 times out of 10 it's the cheapest as well.
The fattier options might be cheaper, but do the drivers worry about their long-term health risks?
I suppose that's always playing on your mind, that you end up being obese, I suppose. I've got an 8-year-old child in the house, and when you're playing with her it's quite hard, you know. She's running a bit full of energy and you're absolutely shattered or just no up for it kind of thing, fit and unfit if you like. You know, so I'd probably say it does play away in the back of your head, but it's the easy option, isn't it? Just quick bite to eat, cheap breakfast.
Well, a lot of it, I think, in the end, is down to driver discipline. Look at myself. You look in here, I think, well, yeah, I should have the healthy option. But then, if you've been out on the road, it's dark, it's dank, it's been raining, you've been in your cab 3 or 4 hours, you want to get out there, you want a little bit of comfort food. Certainly I do anyway. But when you look at it, it's your decision as a driver. They're giving you the option, and nowadays, all about driver discipline. More than anything else, you make the choice, you eat the healthy food.
Maybe it's the sight of the food that changes the driver's good intentions once they come into the restaurant. We stopped a few drivers outside to test this theory.
You're travelling about, you don't know where you're going to be stopping next, and your fast foods is not the best food in the world, so you're sort of stuck between the devil and deep blue sea, whereas you're really hungry and you've got to eat something, so you end up eating stuff that's not really that good for you.
Healthy eating and that for truck drivers, there isn't a lot around because everywhere you go, it's either breakfast and that, which are the big fry-ups and everything like that. There's no, in a lot of places, there's no really healthy options what you can have, like your salads and stuff like that, which a lot of drivers do want now in this time, like everybody's trying to watch the weight and everything, but there's just not a lot happening with it.
Well, I think I'm more for salads now than, you know, these places cater more for both. If you want to be unhealthy or healthy, you know, the truck stops are far more helpful now than they used to be when I first started driving.
As long as you have plenty of exercise, that's fine, because I do.
It's not easy stopping and having a salad if you wanted a salad, because there's not many places do them, you know.
So what do you normally do?
I normally make sandwiches, and as soon as I stop, I'll make a fresh sandwich, and that's what I'll try and do. So it doesn't always work.
Well, that's it for another episode of TruckWorld TV, but if you can't do without us for a week, you can have a look at the website, truckworldtv.co.uk. Lots of news, features on there, and also our ongoing competition to win some truck-related prizes. So we'll see you next week.
See you soon.
TruckWorld is the UK's only dedicated TV series for the road transport sector. If you are watching this and have a product or service that can help transport operators, then go to our website www.truckworldtv.co.uk to find out how easy and cost effective it is to advertise on TruckWorld TV.
Isuzu Truck UK Limited, providing award-winning customer care.